Dear students in vocational third secondary grade, good afternoon. Welcome to to this special seminar, which is specified to talk about vocational baccalaureate for commercial stream and industrial stream, and of course the 12th grade vocational in Syria. Dear students, dear colleagues, at the beginning of this seminar, let me first welcome my colleagues who are going to participate in this seminar. Ms. Hanan Kantakji, English teacher from Hama Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Hanan. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And Mr. Mazen Abdel Karim, English teacher from Damascus Countryside Directorate. Good afternoon, Mr. Mazen.
Good afternoon.
Well, dear students, as you know, this is the first seminar, in fact, for vocational baccalaureate. So in this seminar we will try to cover as we can, of course, the three streams. Let's start with the commercial stream, Ms. Hanan. We will talk about commercial stream at the beginning of this seminar. Of course, we can use the laptop in order to clarify the final exam, I mean the form, the design, the form of the final exam for commercial, thank you very much, stream. Let me start with Mr. Mazen. Let's discuss first the first paper. Of course, dear students, as you know, as you can see, your paper exam contains 2 pages. The first page, in the first page, we have 2 texts, as you can see. The first text, we have, let's say, some tasks. You have to do some tasks after you read the first text, and we have another text. So for the first text, I think it would be a good idea if we read the first text in order to clarify to the students how they can deal with each question related to the first text, Mr. Mazen. Okay. Let me first read the text, then the floor will be yours, Mr. Mazen, to talk about the tasks and to give some instructions how the students should deal or should write the answer, for example. So here, let's read the text. The business owner's role is to check his company's current financial performance against the competition and his own past results. If your company's cash position at the end of each month is stable or improving, then your business is running properly. Business owners should keep an eye on rent, salaries, etc. They should only focus on growing revenues. Businesses may collapse because owners didn't control their overheads. However, having more new clients than old ones means that the business isn't retaining customers. Having more old clients than new ones means that the business needs to address its marketing and sales strategies. Here, if we go back to the beginning, the rubric says, read the following text, then do the task below. You should know, dear students, that the first text contains no more than maybe 100 words, right? So, Mr. Mazen, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Basil. Dear students, the first question about it will be very good idea, first of all, if you read the questions and then you link the question with the text, because when you read the questions and then you read the text, you will know the answer directly.
So, Mr. Mazen, you are trying to advise the students to read the questions before reading the text. Because if the student reads the questions, these questions will lead him to the required answer in the text. So this is the first piece of advice. Read the questions before you read the text. Okay.
Then you just link the questions with the text above, and we can advise the students, dear students, we have keywords. For example, I will give you an example. Question number 1.
Let's go back to try, Mr. Mazen, to answer each question.
Yes.
Let's read the question.
Yes.
How can you make sure, the first question,
yes,
that your business is running properly. Here, how can the student answer this question?
Yes, first of all, the students have to read the question carefully. Then we have to link one keywords from the question with a keywords from the text, and then we answer. Example, how can you make sure that the business is running properly?
So here the question is about business. And about running properly. This is the idea.
The third line, if your company's cash position at the end of each month is stable or improving, so this is the question now, then your business is running properly.
So the condition is if your company's cash, or the answer is if your company's cash position at the end of each month is stable or improving. Now, Mr. Mazen, if the student writes this answer and stops here after improving, full stop, of course his answer is accepted.
Full marks.
If another student writes or completes till the end of the sentence, of course
his answer is
again
complete.
his answer is accepted and finished. Now, so the students should know that they can write only the required answer, the specific information required. There is no need to write the whole sentence. But we say that if the student writes the whole sentence, his answer is accepted. Or if he writes the required information, again, his answer is accepted and it is given full mark. Good. What about the second
question? Why may businesses collapse? So here, I think the keywords is collapse. We look at the text, and then we'll find businesses, the second paragraph, the third line.
Here,
businesses may collapse because, now look here, because owners did not control their overheads.
So
if he writes because owner did not control their overheads, he will get full mark. Or from the beginning, businesses may collapse because owners did not control their overheads. Also,
both answers are accepted. Good.
Yes.
Good. Now, what if the student, let's say, makes some grammatical mistakes or spelling mistakes when he writes the answer? Of course, here we can't give now a full answer to this situation, because it depends on, let's say, the exam, the results, how we correct the papers, and of course, at the end of the year, we will, let's say, distribute a scale, in order to give the teachers an idea how they correct the answers. So we can't give a full answer from now, but we advise the students to, of course, to use correct spelling, correct grammar when they write their answers.
They can copy.
They can copy. It's just copying. They are not writing something from memory. They are just copying from the text. So it is, I think, an easy task. Okay. What about the third question?
The third question: what does having more old clients than new ones means? Here we have the last paragraph, the third line also.
Yes.
Having more older clients than new ones means that the business needs to address its marketing and sales strategies. So if the student writes the answer like
from the beginning,
he will get full mark. Or if he just writes
the business needs
to address its marketing and sales strategies, he will get.
Or let's say if another student writes, it means, if he uses the pronoun it, I mean to refer to the situation. It here, the situation is having more old clients than new ones. This is a situation. We can replace this by using the pronoun it. If he says, it means that the business, again, his answer is accepted. So here, there is no need, again, to write the whole sentence, just to give
the required information, the required answer.
Exactly. What about the second task, Mr.
Yes. The second task, dear students, as you can see on the text.
Let's read the rubric, please.
Yes, the
question.
rubric. Match two of the underlined words in the text to the following meaning. So the students have to match between.
Just matching.
Matching
Here,
between
if we
the
go back to the
underlined.
text,
Yes,
we
the
have
text.
three
Three underlined
words,
and we have two meanings. So we have one extra
word.
meaning.
Yes, yes.
So
one extra word in the text.
yes.
Yes. So and two meanings,
Two meanings,
definitions.
yes.
So which word from the text means happening or existing now?
So happening or existing now, it means current.
I think it is the adjective current.
Yes.
What about the last one?
The last
Number
one,
5.
money that a business receives over a period
is
of
money.
time. Yes, money, revenues.
Revenues.
Yes.
The earnings.
The earnings.
Right?
Yes.
Good. This is the meaning of the word revenues, dear students. Now, we should remind the students that the answer sheet the paper in the exam, the student will use another paper to answer or to write down his answers. We should remind them that we have numbers. The student just has to numerate it, yes, has to write the answer in front of the number. So in front of number 5, just he writes the wanted word, the required word. For example, number 4 writes current. Number 5, revenues. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go, Ms. Hanan. Thank you, Mr. Mazen, to talk about the second text. Yeah. Again, the second text will be no more than 100 words, right? This is the size.
It can be from the student's book or
it can be from the student's book or the activity book. Yeah. Of course, here, what can you tell us, Ms. Hanan, about the second test, please?
Okay. Here we have a text, of course. Then we have 3 questions to multiple choice questions. They have to choose the correct answer. So after reading, they have to read the questions like this. Syrian tenders can give information about tenders in space. To choose multiple choice, here we have either certain cities, the southern areas, or all places in Syria. According to the text, it should be C, all places.
C, all places, not in certain cities or in the southern areas, but in all places.
It depends on understanding, of course, the text.
Of course, these questions are considered comprehensive or comprehension, questions. Yeah. They test the comprehension or understanding, the skill of reading, the reading skill. Yeah. So here we are testing or assessing, let's say, the reading skill. So it is very important to understand the text in order to choose the correct answer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Number 7, if you want to subscribe to Syrian tenders, you have to, also 3 choices, pay money monthly, pay money daily, receive money weekly. So according our text, of course, it should be pay money monthly, answer A, I mean.
Pay money monthly, the first choice is the correct answer. Yeah. Good. So here, Ms. Hanan, if the student writes only the letter A,
it is accepted,
to refer to the correct answer.
Either he can write the full answer.
On the answer sheet, he writes only the letter A. Of course, his answer is accepted. He means that the first choice. Yeah. If he writes B, the second choice. If he writes C,
it's okay.
The third choice. So the letter would be enough.
Yes.
If he writes the letter only, it's okay. If another student writes the letter and then he writes the choice, I mean the full answer, also. Again his answer is accepted.
And if he writes just the answer?
If another student...
if he writes pay money monthly without
A, again his answer is accepted, yes. And if another student, let's say, writes only the beginning, the first word from the first choice, from the correct choice, and we don't have the word pay in any other choice,
the other choices,
okay, also. We will help the student in this case. We will say it's okay, his answer is accepted. Pay, for example, if he writes only pay and didn't or doesn't complete
the answer.
So it's okay, but it is better to write the full answer on the answer sheet.
Exactly.
Okay, let's continue.
Number 8, in the future, the blog will help businessmen to either do a lot of paperwork, go personally to the location, or pay directly online. Also, according to our text, it should be C, pay directly online.
Yes, pay directly online.
Yeah.
Thank you. What about the second task?
Here we
now?
have two sentences. They should correct information.
Let's
Also,
read the rubric,
okay,
please,
sir.
Ms. Hanan.
Rewrite these sentences about the text to correct the information.
Good.
So we have correct information. It should be corrected according
So
to
here,
the text.
the information is not correct.
Yes, the information.
There is no grammar mistake,
No, no.
for example, or spelling mistake.
Just the
right?
information
Just
is
the
incorrect.
information. So he
Incorrect.
has to go back to the text.
To compare
In
this,
order.
he
Yes,
can
yes,
read this,
yes.
and he looks back at the text, of
For
course,
example,
to
here the
compare.
sentence tells
Yeah.
us about Hisham
Hisham
Asi.
started Syrian tenders with
no
no
partners.
partners.
So
If we compare this to the text,
Mhm.
we see that with two partners, not no.
Yes,
So it
with
should be
two
yeah.
partners.
In this case, the student should rewrite the whole sentence in the correct form.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And the last one is the same.
Yeah, they
Only
say
few
only.
businesses in Syria depend on daily newspapers or the government tender sign.
Also, we have a wrong information
Only
here.
few businesses?
No, it should be the majority, of course,
The
according
majority
to the text.
of businesses
Yeah.
in Syria, not
Yeah,
only
not
few.
a few.
Oh, let's say if another student writes, most businesses,
It's okay.
I think it is a
Because-
logical answer.
Yes.
That's why we write any logical answer
Is
is
accepted.
accepted. Let's say if a student writes
Many.
or use his own words to give the correct information,
yeah.
it's okay, his answer is accepted.
If he contradicts,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
the meaning.
But here, I'd like to ask you about a case. In fact, we face this case a lot in the final exam, especially in vocational baccalaureate.
Yes.
Some students write only the correction, Ms. Hanan. Some students write most businesses only, without completing,
It depends on the scale.
the sentence. It depends on
the
the
scale.
yes.
If the scale
It
says
depends.
it's okay, yeah, we can't
Here,
decide.
when the student, for example, in this case, only in this case,
I think
number
it's
10,
to help
most
him,
businesses,
if you want to help,
I think
yes,
it is clear.
Yeah, if
It
we
is
want to help,
clear.
it's okay.
Yes, but sometimes
because the rest is correct.
yes,
Yeah.
but sometimes,
sometimes-
let's say if the student writes only the correction, his answer is not accepted because the idea is not clear. So
Yeah.
he has to clarify that he understands the situation and he knows, let's say, the mistake, and he gives us a correct one.
Yes,
That's why we give him a full mark,
yeah.
right?
So it's better, my advice is to write the full answer.
So the question says rewrite, so he has to rewrite
The full
the full sentence
Yeah, in the
Right.
correct
correctly.
forms. Yeah,
Correctly,
yeah.
exactly. Thank you, Ms. Hanan. I think it is very clear. Now we move on, Mr. Mazen,
Yes.
to the second page, dear students. In the second page,
Yes.
we have a lot of questions, in fact.
Yes.
Before we go on, I'd like to inform or to remind the students that the last two units in your books, in the student's book and in the activity book, of course, are not required. What is required from you is from Unit 1 till the end of Unit 10 in each book, in the student's book and in the activity book. Let's go on, Mr. Mazen, to question number 3.
Yes.
Let's read the rubric
Yes.
and give some instructions,
Yes.
please.
So the third question, dear students, is about matching. We have, let me read the rubric. Match each item in column A to the suitable choice in column B.
Good.
So, dear students, we have two columns, and we have 4 sentences in column A and 5 sentences in column B.
So we have one extra choice.
Extra choice.
Yes.
So, the student, first of all, has to read the first column and the second column. This is the first reading. The second one, he has to read number 11, for example. Don't blame your colleagues for. Now we have to look at the table B and
Yes.
to find the correct answer.
Yes.
Don't blame your colleagues for
For
number
what?
1, for your own mistakes. So
That's it.
dear, so the meaning, the same, they have the same meaning. So and gives the correct completion.
Yes.
Number 11.
And I'd like to advise the students in this case, Mr. Mazen, that sometimes, the student has to make sure 100% that his answer is
Yes.
correct and his correct choice, his choice is correct. Why? Because
Yes.
if he chooses something wrong, he will lose
Two
double.
sentence.
I mean,
yeah, the two sentence gonna be wrong.
of course,
Yes.
because this completion should go to another sentence,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
he will lose two sentences, not one.
Yes.
So the second
Advertisement won't buy just airtime unless we have unless to number E. Look here, advertiser, and we have they.
advertisers
Yes,
won't
they-
buy airtime unless.
Yes, they can reach their target audience.
Of course, here I think it is clear. Why? Because we are talking about
What?
advertisers.
And-
We have a plural noun here, and we have this pronoun they.
They.
So I think it is easy to
To
know
the
the
answer.
correct
Yes.
completion.
It helps.
Number 30.
Number 13, some retail stores allow customers to number D to do
Yes.
their shopping individually. Also here, dear student, the customers and we have
Their shopping
their
individual.
shopping. So
Yes.
we have just
You're right.
Yes.
Yes. The last one.
The last one, desertification forces people to go to other areas where there is water. Look here,
So here we are-
desertification and water.
Yes.
They have, yes.
It is something related to
Relate
nature,
to
something
nature.
natural.
Yes.
Desertification, water,
Desertification and
areas.
water.
There
It's
is
very clear.
There is a logical connection
Yes,
between the
logical
two, the two
connection.
halves.
So
Exactly.
the extra sentence is number C,
Mhm.
is the safest method for exporter, which has no sentence in
So
column
this
A.
this is the extra choice.
Yes.
Yes. See.
The
Thank
student
you.
should not write the extra. Otherwise, he will have two
Let's
wrong
say
answer.
okay. Let's say, Mr. Mazen, that the student here in this case writes two answers. What if the
Yes.
student
Yes.
writes two answers
Yes.
for the same question? I
Okay.
think, for example, here, don't blame your colleagues for your own mistakes, and then he writes, for they can reach. So he gives, two
answers.
answers or two choices for the
So-
same question.
But so
What happens in this case?
So in this case, we
Yes.
will consider the first sentence.
Of course, we will consider the first
The
choice, the first answer.
choice, the first answer. If it is right, he will get the mark. If it's wrong, he won't get the mark.
Good, good. Very nice. Again, here the letters, as Ms. Hanan mentioned, if the student writes only
The
the
letters-
letter which
For example,
refers to
11
the correct
B.
choice, for example, 11
B,
B,
is okay.
that's
B.
it.
Yes.
His answer is
Yeah.
accepted.
Accepted.
And if he writes the answer, your own mistakes, okay. If he writes both the letter
Also
and the
it's okay.
answer,
He
again
will
his
get the
answer
mark.
is complete, is accepted. If he writes maybe in this case, if he writes your and then dots, it's okay.
Yeah.
His answer is accepted in this case because
We are going to help.
your here is the only word
That
among the
contains, yeah,
choices,
yeah.
right? That's it. So here, let's go on to question 4, please, Miss Hanan. Sorry.
Okay, don't worry. Complete the following sentences by filling in the gaps. Here we have 4 spaces or gaps, let's say, and we have 5 words, an extra one. So that the student, he has to fill, of course, to fill in the gaps. The first one, or let's read the words: contact, varying, services, request, team. Now, if we want to complete, of course, or fill the gaps, we need here a verb. So the verb here, contact. We choose contact, and also it
Yes.
depends on the
We
meaning,
need a
not
verb,
just
yes.
not just the grammar, the meaning. So
Here, the students in this case, Miss Hanan, should have should have a good idea or a good knowledge about grammar.
yeah,
Grammar
Yeah.
will help them a lot. Why? Because here, as you said, when you after a subject,
we need a
we
verb.
should use a verb.
Yeah.
We should use a verb. So here he has to look in the list for a verb.
Yeah.
So here
We have contact and we have requests.
and we
can
have
be a
requests.
verb.
We have 2 verbs
Yeah.
here.
But
so
the meaning.
so
we
according
should-
to the meaning.
Yeah, we here should depend on the meaning.
Yes. So when you
Contact your
Contact.
mail center.
our mail center,
Our professional,
So
it
here
should
we
be-
need a noun, I think.
Yeah, because we have an adjective. The
Yes,
adjective is followed
professional,
by a noun.
Professional what?
Team.
We need a noun.
Team.
Team.
Yeah.
Yes. Of
Or
experience.
of experienced customers care specialists. will quickly expedite your, it should be here a noun because we have a possessive adjective your, it should be a request of course.
Yes.
You can count on 100% quality control with our services.
With
also
our
we need a
services,
noun.
again, we need a noun
Yeah.
after the possessive
Yes.
adjective.
Yeah, exactly.
Good idea. Now, again, I'll ask you the same question. Let's say in number 15 here, the student writes contact, then he writes request. I mean, he gives two answers for the same question.
We choose the first.
Again, we
Consider
deal
the first.
Consider
with
the
this
first or give
the
the
same
mark to
way.
the first. if you need.
The first answer is considered. We consider the first answer.
Yeah.
That's it. But it is better to write only one answer, of course. Let's say if a student writes the same word, for example, some students don't have any idea about the spaces
Yeah.
or the paragraph as a whole
They
or the
guess.
words as a
Maybe
whole.
they guess
And some
sometimes.
of them write the same words for all spaces. I mean, contact, 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 contact. What happens in this case? Of
You-
course, he will get 0.
Yeah.
Why? Because he gives the same word for all spaces. It means that he has no idea about the
Yeah.
text or about the paragraph or about the
Or
meaning
what
of
is
these
required.
words. So his answer
Will be 0.
is, let's say, is allotted 0
0.
or is given
Yeah.
0. What about the next question? Thank
Yes.
you, Ms. Hannah. Mr. Mazen,
Yes.
V, question V.
Yes. Number 5. The
Let's read the rubric, yes.
Complete the following sentences by filling in the gaps. So again, here we have gaps with one functional word.
So it is a functional word.
Yes, it is a functional word. So we have to fill the gap. It's not vocab, it's not computer, it's not a table. We have to fill it with something has
It
to
has
do
a
ha-
grammatical function in the sentence.
Yes.
Like what?
The number
Like what?
Like,
here,
yes.
it's okay. We have examples.
Example.
Here, but let's talk in general about this question.
Definite, indefinite article, a and the.
Articles,
Yes.
indefinite articles, a, and, for example, or the definite
Definite
article, the.
Yes, for who and which.
Yes.
Who for
You mean
people.
relative
Relative
pronoun?
Relative pronoun. Who for people.
Connecting words.
Yes.
Sometimes.
But,
Conjunction.
because.
and because,
Helping
or
verbs.
so.
Question tags.
Question tags.
Yes.
Yes.
And sometimes we have some linking words.
Or,
Yes,
or
yes.
helping verbs also.
Helping
Yes,
verbs.
helping verbs
Tenses.
or auxiliary verbs. Yes.
Auxiliary.
Okay.
No matter.
Let's do number 19.
19. E-marketing involves design, sales, advertising. Here we can use and, we can use as well as, we can use, for example, plus
Or
in
sometimes plus, in addition to.
addition to.
Or because
So-
all these words are considered connecting words.
Connect-
And they
words.
add to
Yes,
the meaning.
they
They
add.
add.
Adding words.
So
Adding
design,
words.
sales, and advertising.
Yes.
Yeah.
Design, sales, in addition to, or plus advertising,
Yes.
or advertising, and so on.
Yes.
So it is better not to use or, in fact, in this case, but it's okay. We will, let's say, if the student in this case writes here or, it is accepted.
okay.
I think it's okay because it goes with the meaning.
Or
It's okay.
because he realized, of course, that we need a connecting word. here.
Exactly, because he knows that here he should use a
A conjunction,
connecting
a
word,
connecting
a
word, etc.
conjunction. Yes. What
Number
else?
20, he did not work hard. Here, dear students, we have question
Question tag.
tag. And you know the rule is when the sentence is negative, the tag is
Positive or
positive, and
affirmative.
when the sentence is positive, the tag is negative.
And I think here it is very,
Very
easy,
easy.
because here we have didn't. so
auxiliary.
he just
Did he?
writes did.
Just did.
Did.
Yes.
That's it.
So when we have, for example, the auxiliary, he didn't, just we write did. He isn't, is.
Yes.
He doesn't, does.
That's
But when we have no auxiliary, we have to use, for example,
He should know the tense.
the tense. He goes to school, doesn't he? He went shopping, didn't he?
Yes, because it is past.
Yes.
Good.
Number 21, we will discuss very important issue in the meeting. So, dear student, here we have
We need an article. here.
we need an article, and it is the first time we mention this noun. It is a. just A.
We will
We'll
discuss
discuss a very important
issue.
issue in the meeting.
Yes, not the, of course.
Not the.
A
of course.
very important
Yes,
issue.
and not an.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
So and the both are incorrect.
So again, here the student should not, or that it's not necessary, of course, to write the whole sentence in order to write the answer. Just write the answer. In front of number 19, write and. That's it.
Okay.
In front of number 20,
Did.
write did. That's it. If in front of number 21, write A. That's
Yes.
it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mazen. Of course, it is very clear that each question is allotted 10 marks.
10 marks.
Is given 10 marks. That's
for
it.
each one.
For
Yes.
each one, yes. What about the next question,
Yeah.
Ms. Hanan, question number 6, VI,
Yeah.
please.
Fill in the spaces with the suitable prepositions from the list.
And
Here
I
we
think here the students have a lot of questions about prepositions.
Yeah, they
Yes.
asked about it because
Mhm.
most questions they say that comes from the last 2 units which were deleted.
Aha.
So
It is,
in this case, what's
can I add something
Yes, of
here in order to clarify to the students,
And
or dear students,
Yes, and dear
this
teachers.
case here? It is a here we have a skill.
Yeah.
It is called a grammatical skill, dear students, dear colleagues. So we cannot delete a question from the final exam because the last 2 units are, let's say, deleted or not required. This skill, of course, I think the students have developed this skill, let's say, from unit 1 till unit 10. So I think there are a lot of exercises about prepositions, not only in unit 11 and in
12.
unit 12.
Yeah.
So it's okay, unit 11 and 12 are not required, but we have a lot of exercises from unit 1 till unit 10. Again, this one is called a grammatical skill. So the student should have, let's say, developed this skill through the
Practice.
years, through
Okay.
practice, by practice, exactly, Ms. Hannah. So this question is fixed.
Yeah.
They will see this question in the
In the
final
exam.
exam, but I mean, the prepositions required, it's okay, are found and mentioned in unit, in the 10 units,
The
from
first,
unit
yeah.
1 till unit 10.
unit,
Ms. Hanan,
yeah.
please.
Here we have, they are given the prepositions, of course. They are given 4 prepositions, and we have 3 spaces, of course.
Yes.
I saw your new poster on television. Usually the preposition that comes with television is on.
We don't say in television,
No,
for
it
example.
should
We
be
say
not.
on
It's
TV,
fixed, of
on
course.
television.
Yeah.
We don't say in or at
Yeah.
or by and so on.
We say on the radio, on
Yes,
the telephone.
exactly.
With the sets we use on.
Yes.
I love the weather in May. Here with months, we use the preposition in.
Yes.
So that's why it should be in, of course.
Yes. So we say in June, in July,
In summer.
in May, in
Yeah.
summer, in winter.
In the morning,
That's it. In the morning,
Yeah.
the parts of the day. In the
Yes.
morning, in the afternoon.
in the night.
With years
exactly.
also.
Or at night sometimes.
yes.
In the evening we say.
Yes.
Years,
At night
seasons.
we say at noon, at night.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the parts of the day, we say in the morning.
in the
In the-
afternoon.
The periods. I mean, we
Yes.
have 3
Yeah.
periods during the day.
Yeah.
We say in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening.
In the-
But we
yes.
say at noon, at night.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Right?
The last one.
Yes.
It has been a pleasure to do business with you.
Mhm.
Do business with.
With whom? With you.
With you, of
With.
course. So to do business with.
Mhm.
Also, a kind of a collocation, let's say. They should be together or come together.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'd like to add something here, Miss Hanan. Sometimes the space takes more than one word. I mean, in some cases,
Yeah.
when we feel that it's okay, here in this space we can write more than one word. Of course, be sure, dear students, that more than one answer will be accepted if it is correct.
Grammatically
here,
correct. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. What about the next? Would you like to add something about this question?
Prepositions have generally no rule. So they are fixed expressions, as we say, collocations. It's better for them to memorize or to learn them by heart.
But we advise the students, in fact, in this case, to develop their skill. I mean, to know how to use the prepositions of time,
Place.
Yeah.
prepositions of place.
Some are fixed, but most are
some
not.
are fixed, but most of them
Are
say
we have
we have a
exceptions.
variety.
Yes.
Yes. So, what about the next question, number 7, Mr.
Yes.
Mazen? Choose
Yes.
the correct words in brackets.
Yes, the rubric choose the correct words in brackets. So the students has two answers and he has to choose one. If he chooses two, the first one, we consider the first. Or we consider it wrong. Mr. Bassel, what do you
No,
think?
we consider the first.
Yes.
If he writes, again, if he writes two answers, we consider the first one.
Okay.
If another student writes both choices and underline the correct choice, his answer is accepted, of course. But it is better to write only
one answer.
one answer, the
choice.
correct choice, and that's
The
it.
correct choice.
There is no need to write
Because they
both.
say choose.
Yes.
They will
That's what
waste
I-
time again.
So,
yes.
Mr. Bassel, here the students should know that this question is about phrasal verbs. I mean, verb plus preposition, or it's about linking words,
Yes.
grammar, or about vocab like install and loud, or about derivatives, or about another,
What do you mean by derivatives? To clarify
Yes.
the student.
The
Maybe
de-
some students don't
yes.
know the word.
the
A noun,
a noun,
or a verb.
a
for
verb,
example. An adjective or an adverb.
yes.
Verbs, maybe different verbs.
Yes.
Phrasal verbs sometimes, connecting words sometimes, pronouns.
Indefinite pronouns.
Exactly.
Some.
So we have a
yes,
variety of
someone,
choices, in fact.
Yes.
Oh, good, good.
Number 25. I went off, came across.
Here we have phrasal verbs.
Yes, a phrasal verbs.
Went off, came across
A mistake. And usual, came across, not went off, a mistake.
Yes.
While I was checking my composition. So when you check your
It
composition,
means I found a mistake.
you found a mistake by by
I
chance.
faced a mistake.
Yes.
It's okay. People prefer to type.
Number 26.
to
People
type.
prefer to type their emails offline because therefore, and
We have a reason here.
yes, we have to explanation. The explanation we must use because.
Because.
Therefore, we use therefore
When
for
we talk
result.
about the result.
A result.
So
yes.
here we have a reason.
A
It is
reason.
easier.
Yes.
So
And,
people use
maybe,
or prefer to type their emails offline because it is easier.
Can
right?
I add something?
Why not?
If we have to choose, for example, therefore, it has a punctuation, some punctuation rules. For example, before therefore, there should be a full stop and
Full
a comma.
stop and another sentence.
A comma after
A
it.
comma after
Yeah.
therefore.
So
therefore,
yeah.
it will so and
Yes.
so. Yes.
If
Yes.
it is correct, I mean.
Yes.
You're right.
Another advice for the students, dear Mr. Bassel, because you can read because from you can put because in the beginning or in the middle, but therefore cannot be put in the beginning of the sentence,
Yes.
like
Okay.
this sentence.
Like this one.
Yes,
you
like
mean
this
to
one.
connect.
Yes, to
we
connect.
put it at the beginning, after a full stop, and then after therefore we use a comma.
Yes.
Okay.
Number
Good.
27. In the past, people had to install and load containers themselves. So here we have the meaning. The container we take unload. Unload the
Unload.
container.
Yes. Unload.
Unload the
Yes.
container themselves.
Exactly. 28.
28. Companies development. Dear student, we have subject, and after the subject we have to use a verb. Develop partnership with their customers, not development.
And the last one?
The last one. Sammy has left his glasses somewhere, nowhere. Yes.
So,
So
Sammy has left his glasses somewhere.
somewhere.
No, we can't use here nowhere.
Because
Okay, he didn't find his glasses anywhere, for example.
Yes.
But nowhere here, no, it is not
because
accepted.
nowhere gives the negative meaning.
Exactly. He left his
some-
glasses somewhere.
somewhere.
In a place.
In a
We mean,
place.
yes. He is unable to read the letter. Thank you, Mr. Mazen. Let's go to question 8.
Yeah.
VIII. Correct the verbs in brackets.
This is, of course, or this question is about tenses.
Tenses.
The
Good.
verb between brackets is given in the, let's say,
Zero.
infinitive
Zero
or
form.
zero form, and the student has to put it in the correct form. Sometimes we have indicators that will help.
Good.
For example, when he meet, it's as we read it, of
Between
course, first.
brackets,
Yeah,
yes.
Mona tomorrow. He will tell her the truth. Here we have
A future. in the second clause.
Yeah, a future in the second clause, but also the meaning in the time clause when he meets Muna
And we
tomorrow.
have
The
tomorrow.
meaning is
Yes.
future, but we
Yes.
can't use
Yes.
will in time clauses.
Good.
So in this
in
case,
time clauses we use.
we can't use, I mean,
Yes.
will in time clauses.
You're right. So what tense
Instead,
do
we use the present symbol
Yes, the present
in the
simple.
meaning of the future.
Exactly. So here in this case, because we have future in the second clause
Yeah.
and we have a time clause at the beginning,
Yeah.
we should use simple present.
Yeah.
When he meets Muna
Meets,
tomorrow,
by
meets.
adding s.
That's
yeah.
just add s
Yes.
because the subject is a third
He
person
or
singular.
third person singular.
Yes.
yeah.
Mr.
Yes.
Basil, I have
Yes.
something. Dear students, here the time clauses when, before, after, as soon as, once. After these time clause, we use simple present, and the second sentence we use the future. But we have two.
If it is, you mean a routine or a
Yes,
habitual action?
habitual, we use.
When I get up, I listen to music.
Yes,
We can
sometimes
use
whenever.
simple present
Yes,
in both
In
in
cases.
both,
both,
yeah.
especially when we have whenever and every time.
If it is something repeated, but
Repeated
here
or- yes.
this action will happen once.
Once,
Yeah.
yes.
It is not a habitual
Action.
action,
Yes.
and we have tomorrow. So here we
It
should
should be
use
present
simple
simple.
present.
Yes.
Okay, 31.
Now, Ahmed was shopping when he, between the brackets, see an old friend.
So something was going on
Something
when another
past
action
continuous.
happened.
So we have two actions in the
Yes,
past.
yes.
One was going on, which is was shopping. During it, something else happened. He saw. It should be
Exactly.
past simple. So
He-
we have here an interruption
So when
of
he
two
saw an
actions.
older friend, what was he doing? He was shopping.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Good. So the correct answer
And
is past.
something also they should pay attention to it. When they begin with the past, all the tenses that comes or follows should be past.
Should be past. Because here we use the past progressive or past continuous was shopping. We should
Yeah.
use past
Yeah.
in the second clause.
And it should be past simple,
So
of course. Yeah.
the students should think of something in the
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
because the beginning of the sentence
Is in
is
the
It's
past. That's
yeah.
it. 32. The employee.
The employee do his job since last week.
Good.
So here between brackets we have do in the past form, let's say. We have since as an indicator of the present perfect.
And it is a keyword for
a keyword for the present
for
perfect
the
or
present perfect
continuous.
simple or present perfect continuous.
But also the student should not confuse last week here.
You mean
Yes.
some students get confused
When they
because
see-
most of them see last week, they think that the tense is
Is
past
past.
simple.
Yeah, but
It is not correct because we have since here.
Yeah, after since we have past time.
Since last week, we mean from last week till
Yes,
now. So
yeah.
the word since connects links the past
With the
present.
present.
That's why we should use
Perfect
present
tenses,
perfect.
either present perfect simple or a present
So
perfect
here,
continuous.
the
If the
correct
student
answer-
has done, it's okay. If the student writes has been doing, also
It's okay. The employee has done or has been
has
doing.
been doing.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hannah. Now we can talk about the dialogue, Mr. Mazen. Complete the following dialogue by writing suitable questions or answers. Here the student writes or should write at least 3 words for each question in order to get the full mark for this question. I mean, when we write questions, we can't write a question by using 1 word, for example. We should write at least 3 words to be considered.
Yes.
I mean, to be accepted. What can you say or tell the students about this question, Mr. Mazen?
Yes, this question is very important.
Yes.
Yes, in all baccalaureate, vocational, general. And the student, first of all, should know the WH question. For example, where for a place, when for time, why for a reason, who for people,
How long
just
to ask about
yes,
duration?
duration, what
How
for
many?
things,
How
for yes, the means of manner and the
Yes.
ways of transportation.
Exactly.
And we have the compound WH question, how
Often,
long,
how long.
how old, yes.
How often?
Yes, how often, how many, how much. So the
Good.
student should be familiar with these words in order to answer this question.
Good.
The second thing they should know, they should follow this rule. When they want to ask a question, they should follow this rule. Can
Of
I
course,
use
here, dear students, we can use the overhead
Yes.
in order to clarify
Yes.
to the students how can we or how we can write a question
Yes.
for each case. Here we have, I will start my new business next month. You can write it,
Yes.
Mr. Mazen. We can
Yes.
use the overhead, please.
Yes.
I will start my new business next month. Thank you, Mr. Mazen. Now,
Yes. Dear student,
how can we write a
yes.
question?
How we are, first of all, the rule is WH. We have to choose the correct WH question, then auxiliary verb, then the subject, and then the main verb. For example, I will start my new business next month. So we have
Of course, here the student, Mr. Mazen, should imagine the situation.
Yes.
I think when he, let's say, sees an answer like this, he should imagine the situation and try to guess the question for this answer.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Good. So the next month we use when for time, when the auxiliary verb is will. So we already.
We can ask about the time,
yes,
you mean?
Yes, about the time.
So to ask about the time, we use
when
plus
the auxiliary.
we have will here.
Will. The subject I, we change the subject I and we into you. Dear student, you have to pay attention. When we have I, we change it into you. Then the main verb, which is a start. When will you start? And we complete.
When will you start your new business?
A new business.
We have another question, Mr. Mazen. Can't we say,
Yes.
can we ask about the business itself?
Yes, we can say.
I mean, what
will you start? Yes.
or will do
What?
next month?
Yes.
I think
what,
it is logical.
Yes. What
Any
about
question?
the business will? Yes. And what will you do next
Good.
month?
So, dear students, relax, just relax. Any logical question will be accepted in the final exam. Here
Yes.
you have many choices. You can ask about the time, it's okay. You can ask about business, it's okay, right? Or
Yes.
the action itself. What will you start or what will you do
Do.
next month?
Yes.
Or about the subject also, it's okay.
Right.
Who will start?
Who will start a new business next
yes.
month? I will start
Yeah.
my new business next
Yes.
month.
Yes.
I think it is logical because it is the first
The
question.
first question.
It is at the beginning of the dialogue.
Yes.
But Mr. Basil, students should know they mustn't use two WH question, the same WH question for two sentences.
Of course, of
Yes.
course, of course.
Yes.
Because it would be, it won't be logical.
Yes.
Yes.
It won't be dialogue.
The second one, my business
My
aims
business aims
at producing containers. So I think we can talk about the aim.
The aim. What does
Your
your
business
business aim at?
That's
So, dear student, we have here, we don't have auxiliary, and we have the sentence is simple present. We have to use does. What, and you usually, when we have may, my or our, we change it into your. What does your business aim at?
And the students should notice that such questions should end with a preposition.
Yes.
What, right?
Yes.
What does your business
Yes.
aim at?
We can use
Because some students write, at what does your business aim? It's okay, it's something
in conversation.
informal.
Yeah, in
It will
conversation,
be
it's okay.
accepted, but in our real life we use such kinds of questions. I think it is accepted, but when we talk about formal English, we
Yeah,
should
at the
finish
end.
or end the
The
question
preposition
with a preposition.
Yeah, should be at the end.
The next, or the
Yes,
last one,
the-
my friend Huda is my
My bad.
partner.
You
Who
can-
is your partner?
Yes.
We can
Who is your
ask
partner?
about the doer or
About
the-
the
right?
doer,
The subject.
the subject.
Yes.
It's an easy
Who
one.
is your
So
partner?
easy, so
It's
easy.
very easy.
Now, the last one.
The last one here, the student must write the answer, not the question, because here we have the question,
Yes.
and he should write any answer, any logical answer is accepted.
So, for example, here,
Why
why
did you choose
this kind of business? Because I like it.
Because I like it,
It's
because
okay.
because
Because it is interesting.
interesting, because it's
It
makes
suits me.
Yes, it's make me rich.
Because it gives a lot of money, for
Yes,
example,
yes.
or because I can earn a lot of money from this business. So here, a variety of choices
are accepted.
Are available.
But I
here,
want to add
think.
something here.
Yes.
The tense of the, we should look at the tense, for example, of the sentence. The first I will start. We have a rule in English. The tense of the question is the same tense of the answer.
Yes.
So they have to be careful for this.
That's
the first one is in the future.
So will here, we
Will.
have an auxiliary verb.
Yeah, I
So
know. But,
it is wrong
okay.
to use
Do.
verb to be,
Do,
for
yeah.
example,
Or do.
or did,
Yes. And
or
the
have,
second-
or something, because
exactly.
we have will here.
The second is present simple.
Exactly.
It should, they should be
with
careful.
S.
Yeah.
If the verb has S, use does. No S, use do. If the
Exactly.
verb has is in the past simple,
They
use
should
did
use
to ask
did, of
about the
course.
past. So
Yeah.
easy. Thank you, Mr. Mazen. I think it is very clear. Now we move on, Ms. Hanan, to talk about, I think, 4 grammatical, let's say, skills. Rewrite the following sentences as required in brackets.
And,
Ms. Hanan, please.
This question has a big mark, 60
Yes,
marks. Of
yes.
course. Okay. The first question, 37. The workers will repair the machine. What's required here to change into passive?
So,
this sentence in the active. Why? Because
for
they begin
Mr.
with the
Mazen
subject.
is writing the sentence now
Yes.
Yeah.
in order to use
Yeah,
the
to help,
overhead.
of course, yeah. Thank you.
Please.
Thanks.
The workers,
The
will
workers
repair the
will
machine.
repair the machine. This is in the active voice.
Okay. Let's use the overhead, Mr. Mazen.
Yes.
The overhead,
The
please.
workers.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Hanan.
Yeah, the workers is the subject, will repair the verb, the machine, the object. This is active because we
Yes.
have this word order.
Yes.
But in the passive, we begin with the object. The object should be at the beginning. So we should say the machine. It will come to the beginning of the sentence. The machine will be repaired. About the passive in the future, of course, I want to say that when we form the passive, we have to add verb to be plus verb 3.
You mean, simply we
Yeah.
can say, Ms. Hanan,
Object.
the machine is the
Yes.
object. So
Yeah.
we use the object
At the
as a
beginning.
subject.
Yeah, in the
We
place
use
of
the
subject.
object as a subject.
Exactly.
The machine becomes the subject. Okay? Then, the
The
verb
form-
prepared
the form
in
of
the
the verb.
sentence is in the future.
Exactly.
So we use be in the future. We use verb to be in the future. Will be.
And verb 3.
Repair, will
past
repair,
participle,
will
will
be.
be repaired.
Then, step
Now,
number 3.
Yeah, here the subject is a noun. When the subject is a noun, it can be used at the end after the preposition by, or we mention it because it's important. It adds to the meaning of the sentence.
Yes. So here, repaired is the past participle
Yeah.
of repair. It becomes the machine
Will be repaired by the workers.
Here, I think, by the workers is important, is necessary to complete the information.
If we, for example,
Sometimes the doer
is a pronoun.
is not necessary. I
It's
mean, it's not
important.
necessary to use the agent or to say
Yeah.
by
By.
so and so. But here, I think, in this case,
It's
it is
important
important
to be
mention
mentioned.
it
Yeah.
by the workers in order to complete
when it is a pronoun,
the information.
for example, he will repair
They,
the machine.
for example, they.
or he.
It's not necessary. We,
because it
they,
adds
he.
nothing to the
Exactly,
meaning.
exactly. Thank you very much. The next
Okay,
one.
I'm going to Homs for my friend's wedding. The required question here is, of course, to report using lama sid. This is reported speech.
I'm going to Homs for my friend's
Did I say
wedding.
Hama or Homs?
Homs or Homs, it's
Okay.
okay. It's the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, I'm going to Homs for my friend's wedding. This is,
Okay.
of course, direct. I want to report it. When we report, we make it indirect. We have
Yes.
some changes, of course.
Yes. So Lama said,
Lama said, we
here
start
the reporting verb is in the past, by
Yeah.
the way.
in all, of course,
Yes.
the baccalaureate, of
The
course,
reported speech
the
is in the
reporting
past.
verb is past, yeah.
Yes.
So Lama said, when the verb of reporting is past, we have to change tenses. Okay.
And pronouns.
First, I mean tenses.
Yes.
Tenses because the verb is said.
Good.
So I'm going to Homs. It is in the future, of course. Present continuous in the meaning of future. So we change it into past continuous, and we have a change of pronouns. The pronoun here is I. It should be.
Here, between quotation marks,
Yeah.
I'm going. Here, the speaker is Lama,
Yeah.
not we.
No. Yeah,
But
it's
here, when we say Lama said, now we are the speakers.
Yeah.
We are this. I am the speaker now.
Yes.
So I'm talking about Lama now.
Lama.
Because I'm talking about Lama, I should use the pronoun which refers to lama.
To lama, she. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it should be like this. Lama said she was going to Homs for her friend's wedding. We
Very
change also my into
the possessive
her.
adjective.
Yes.
Her
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
She said my friends, but we
So-
say her friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to let's say attract their attention, of course, to this note. When we change from direct into indirect, we have three changes. First, we change pronouns.
Pronouns.
We change
Tenses.
tenses. This is number 2, and number 3, some words which refer
Maybe
to
possessive pronouns, sometimes adverbs of time.
Yeah.
When we have
Yeah.
yesterday, for
The day
example,
before.
we say the day before
So
or
we
the
have three
previous
changes.
day.
They should
Tomorrow.
be. Yeah.
Tomorrow,
next.
the next day, the following day,
Yes.
Yeah,
or the
exactly.
day after. It's
Yes.
okay. Good, good. Now, the third task, Ms. Hannah.
The applicant came yesterday. He didn't leave his phone number. We have two separate sentences. And
I think it is clear, Mr. Mazin, here.
No need.
There is no need to use the overhead. Why? Because
Yes.
it is clear. We can use the laptop. Thank
Yeah.
you. The applicant came yesterday. Thank you.
this is the
and
first
he didn't
sentence,
leave his
and
phone number.
two separate sentences. The question is combine. It means connect
Yes.
using a relative pronoun. We have to make the two as one. So let's see. The applicant came yesterday. What's the relation between the second and the first? Is he.
The
The
doer.
applicant, the doer.
Yes.
So we
So
use
we
a
are
relative.
talking about a human being, a person.
We use who in this
So
case.
we use who
because it
for
is-
people.
Yeah, for people,
So-
and also because it is a subject.
And it is the doer, you mean,
Yeah,
the
the
doer
doer
of the action.
yes.
He is the doer.
So
So
the
the
relative,
applicant,
the relative clause here should be he didn't leave his phone number. But I want to add here that the position of this relative clause should be after the noun it describes.
yes, yes, of course.
So it should be the applicant.
After the applicant here,
Yeah.
because we have another information, you
Yeah.
mean, about the applicant.
Yes.
We have a second information.
Yes.
The second information is the second sentence.
Yes.
We give another information about the applicant. So this information refers or is related to the applicant.
Yes.
That's why we use a relative pronoun
Yes.
who.
Exactly.
Ah.
And as I
The
said,
applicant who
the applicant who didn't leave his phone number
came yesterday. That's
Yeah.
it. Then we complete
Yes.
the main clause. So
Yes.
let's say we have a main clause, which
And-
is the first sentence, and we have a second clause. We put the second clause after the noun, after the
refers
applicant,
to or describes.
but we should use a relative pronoun,
Yeah.
a suitable relative pronoun.
Exactly.
Here, because we are talking about a person, we
should.
use who, right?
And who, not whom, because it is a subject.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Miss
The
Hannah.
last sentence. 40. If I know how to make this product appealing, attractive, I will tell you.
It is a conditional sentence. Yes.
And they
I
ask.
should write.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
It's better.
We can write it.
The question says, between brackets, change into second conditional. We have, let's say, 4 types of conditional. 0, if you heat ice, it melts. Conditional type 1, if I have
You
time.
mean here it is first because the verb in the if clause
It
is
should be
in the present simple
Yeah,
here, and the verb in the result clause
Is
is
the
in the future.
Yeah.
So
They
the
ask
request
us
here, I mean, the question is
to
to
change,
change this
from first
from
conditional.
first into second conditional.
Exactly. In the first
Good.
conditional, as you see, if I know it's in the present, but in the second conditional, it should
use
be past.
The verb in the second
In
form.
the second form.
Second conditional, second form.
So if
so
I
use
knew-
the verb
New.
in the past
The
simple.
past form.
New.
So if I knew how to make this product appealing,
Yes.
also it should be, we have a change here, I would tell you.
Good.
In type 2, the result
I
clause.
would
tell
tell
you.
you.
In the result clause, we use would.
Yes.
Would plus infinitive. I mean.
You would tell.
Yes.
Thank you. So second conditional means that the verb in the if clause must be used in the second form,
Yes.
simply.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now we can talk about translation. Of course, you know, dear students, that in the final exam you will be given 4 sentences when we talk about translation. Mr. Mazin.
Yes. The first sentence about translation, sentence number 41, translate the following into Arabic. So we have 2 sentences. we have to translate them into Arabic.
2 sentences,
Yes.
okay.
And 2 sentences, we have to translate them into English.
Good.
The
first one.
Yes, the first one. We should have a good plan before starting any new project. So here we have to use the formal Arabic.
It is a kind of advice or mild obligation.
Obligation.
Maybe. Okay.
Yes.
We should have a good plan.
يجب
So,
علينا وجود خطة. يجب أن يكون لدينا خطة جيدة قبل البدء بأي مشروع.
Before starting any new project.
Yes.
Again, the student can say
ينبغي
قبل البدء بأي مشروع جديد ينبغي علينا يجب علينا
بمعنى الوجوب.
من المفروض علينا من الواجب علينا. So we can use a variety of expressions just to give or the required information to express the information found in this sentence. I'd like to advise the students when translating any sentence, it's not necessary to translate word by word. What is required here is to say this sentence in your own language. I think this sentence is written in English. How can we say it in Arabic? That's it. This is the required information. I think what is required here is just to give the sentence in your language. So try to express the information in your language and be sure that you will be given the full mark. So there is no need to translate word by word. Yes, because what we say in English is not like what we say in Arabic or in any other language. There are a lot of differences, as you said, Ms. Hamad. The second one, Mr. Mazen, please.
They will offer special prices to the ships that transport food items.
Good. They will offer special prices.
سيعرضون أسعارا خاصة للسفن التي تنقل المواد الغذائية.
Or الغذاء الأطعمة. A variety of things, yes. Good. Now we move on to translate the 2 statements from Arabic into English. أحدثت الاختراعات الجديدة. Can we write it? Can we use the overhead?
Yes.
In order to clarify to the students how they can deal with translation.
Yes.
That's it. This is what we need. I don't care, in fact, about the sentence in particular, this one, but we care for translation.
And the grammar also.
Grammar, spelling, how they deal with translation, how they deal with each sentence. أحدثت الاختراعات الجديدة.
So the first thing we have to translate is the subject, which is الاختراعات الجديدة.
So in English, we usually start with the subject. So the subject of the sentence here, in other words, let me say it in Arabic. الموضوع الأساسي بهذه الجملة هو الاختراعات الجديدة. So هذا موضوع الجملة. Okay? الاختراعات الجديدة. So we write
the
new inventions, modern inventions, new inventions, the last inventions, the latest inventions. We have a variety of expressions.
Yes.
So all of them are accepted and
because
correct.
they give the meaning.
Yes. أحدثت caused.
Also we can say have caused.
Have caused.
Yes.
Because maybe this thing has a link with the present. So it will be better to use the present perfect. But if the student uses the past simple, it's okay. We accept it because he gives a correct sentence at the end.
Yes.
It's okay. But it is better, as you said, Mr. Mazen, to use the present perfect here because when we feel that there is a connection with the present, when we talk about an action or event that happened before now, but it has a relation with the present, we should use the present perfect, not the past simple. Yes. So here,
the new inventions
have caused, have led
to,
yes, have led to, or have caused a lot of changes, big changes in people's life or lives.
Big changes.
If we use plural.
Big changes in
people's life or lives.
Lives.
Because the plural of life is lives, not
Arabic,
lives as a verb. It is
as
lives.
I know, حياة
The
in
same.
Arabic has no plural form.
Yes, yes, exactly. Another sentence استخدم المدير لا خلينا
Yes.
let's give another example.
Yes.
استخدم المدير الإعلان
لجذب
لجذب عدد أكبر من الزبائن. So here
We can say
المدير, the
boss,
manager, the boss,
the boss. It's very
Yes.
easy one for the students.
Or the
Yes.
head.
the head
It's
of
okay.
the company.
The
It's
boss.
okay, the head, the boss,
Yes.
the manager,
استخدم.
Director.
the
Another.
director,
Yes.
exactly.
Also, we can use
Used
has used.
or has used.
Has
Used
Used.
or used, it's okay,
Yes.
but has used is better, yes.
has
If the
used.
time is definite,
Yes,
it's better
yes,
to be
yes,
in the past,
yes,
but
yes,
the time
yes.
or the tense is not.
But because it has a link with the present.
It should be in the present
لجذب
perfect.
عدد أكبر من الزبائن. So
Yes.
إذا كنا if we see that a lot of customers are coming to the company, there is a, let's say, an effect,
Yes.
right? So we should use the present perfect. So here in this case نحن ما بنحاسب الطالب، خلينا نقول على الزمن، خلينا نقول هيك. إذا الطالب استخدم الماضي البسيط نقدر
المهم
نقول
يجيب المعنى.
مقبول. إذا استخدم الحاضر التام
It's okay.
كمان نقدر نقول الجواب مقبول في هذه الحالة. لذلك
So,
we say
the boss
the boss
has
used
used
or has used
Yes.
the advertisement,
the
the
ads,
announcement,
The
The ad,
ads.
the ads,
the ad,
the commercial.
exactly, the commercial. هون الطالب عنده خيارات لأنه في أكثر من كلمة بتعبر عن الإعلان.
Yeah.
Yes.
ونحن مضطرين نحكي in Arabic بهذا السؤال بالذات لأنه هو سؤال ترجمة. فيعني هلا
It's okay.
بينبسطوا بعض الطلاب انه عم نستخدم اللغه العربيه، بس انتم محظوظين انه هذا السؤال هو بالعربي
بيقولوا
فنحن
لآخر
مضطرين.
فقط.
We are obliged to use
It's
Arabic.
okay, it's okay. استخدم المدير الإعلان لجذب to attract.
Commercial.
مو
To
هيك؟
attract.
To attract
Yes.
a lot of customers or a large number of customers,
Yes.
many customers.
Yeah.
بعتقد كلهم
okay.
مقبولين إجابات.
Just to give the meaning.
Yeah, just to give the meaning. Exactly. يعني نحن قصدنا الحقيقة طلابنا الأعزاء نحل الجملة أمامكم لتشوفوا كيف نتعامل مع كل جملة وكيف نحن معكم إلى جانب الطالب دائما بأنه نعطيه العلامة إذا استطاع الطالب أن يعطي المعلومة المطلوبة هون والجملة
والقريبة إلى
نعم
الجملة.
تماما. Now that's all for translation. Thank you, Mr. Mazen. Now we can talk, Ms. Hanan,
About the
about the
composition.
composition.
Yeah. It has the highest mark, 100 marks.
Yes.
The students here have the choice.
Sorry.
There are two topics. They can choose the one to write about. They say here, the rubric says, write a composition of no more than 80 words on one of the following topics. The first one, cargo shipping services.
Good.
Of course, they have to
Just
write.
pieces of advice, Ms.
Yeah.
Hanan, because we have only 9 minutes.
Okay. So in this case, there is a, let's say, a traditional way or style of writing a paragraph in English.
Yes.
The first sentence is the most important sentence. It is called
The
the
key
topic
sentence or the topic
okay.
sentence.
So the full information, the most important information should be included in this sentence. Then they have to add more information about this topic sentence by explaining more.
Yes.
If they can also give more information, they can. It's okay. They can add also examples. So this is a traditional style.
To
By
support
writing,
his idea.
Yeah, to support the
Yes.
idea. The traditional style to begin with the topic, to give to explain, then to give an example. And if they like at the end their opinion.
It's
no
okay, a
matter.
conclusion. You
Yeah,
mean.
exactly.
Of course, here we have two compositions, right? So if a student writes two compositions, what
Choose the
happens?
first.
The first one
The
is
first.
Again, we consider the first
first.
one, but not the best one.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
The first one. So there is no need to write, dear students, two compositions. Write only one composition. Choose the best one. Choose the one you feel that you can write well about it. The most suitable one for you, and it's okay. Disadvantages. Again, I'd like to remind you that anything which is related to the last two units, Unit 11, Unit 12, any topic in these two units is not required. All texts in these two units, Unit 11 and Unit 12, are not required for the final exam. Thank you very much. Now we can talk in a hurry because we have only maybe about 5 minutes
The
or
same
6 minutes.
strategies.
When we talk about industrial stream,
Yes.
here the same. I think we have
The same
similar
strategies.
questions,
Yeah.
so there is no
Need.
to repeat. But here again we have a text, as you can see, dear students. The first text, we have only one text
one.
here. When we talk about industrial stream, you will be given only one text, and this text maybe no more than maybe 100
than.
words,
Less.
70 words, about 70 maybe, not 100. And we have 3 direct questions. There is no need to answer, but here 3 direct questions. Then we have again
Meaning.
Mr. Mazen, please.
So the first question, answer the following questions. We have 3 questions. The student must answer them. And then we have number B, match 3 of the
We
underlined.
say the same pieces of
the same
advice to
pieces.
deal with
Yes.
each question.
Yes.
I mean, he should read the text very carefully and write the required information related to the text.
But
When we talk about meanings, I think we have underlined words here,
Yes.
as you can see.
choose.
We have steam, vital, location, generate. Here we have 4 words, 4 underlined words, and we have 3 definitions or meanings, Mr.
one
Mazen.
extra, yes.
So we have 1 extra word underlined
yes.
in the text.
And Mr. Basil, here we have the second question. It's
Yes.
new for the student.
Mhm.
What does the pronoun it in bold refer to?
Yes.
So it, look, dear student, at the
We usually use pronouns to
yes,
refer to nouns.
nouns.
So here, what do you advise the students, Mr. Mazen?
I
to read
yes,
the
to
first
read the
sentence?
first the
sentence
the
before
sentence
this.
before the
The
bold.
pronoun.
So let's see it here.
Yes.
This station
Yes,
was powered by a steam engine, right?
yes.
It provided electricity. So it here
it
is very clear
it
right?
refers to the station.
that it refers to the station. That's
Yes.
it. It is very clear.
Yes.
Because the first sentence, the subject is, in the first sentence is this station. And the second sentence gives more information about the station. So it refers to the station. That's it. So the student here has only to write station.
Station.
That's it. Or he can say it, between
refers
brackets
It
refers to
station.
station between brackets.
and he will
That's
get
it.
the mark.
And he will get the full mark.
Yes.
Of course, the second question is well known
Matching.
to match, Miss Hanan.
Yes, we have 4 questions, sorry, and we have 5 completions.
Very clear. Again, the
One
same.
is
the same.
additional,
Yes,
so they
exactly.
also have to read
And
and match.
question 3 is the same.
The
to fill the
same.
spaces.
Fill the
the
spaces.
last
We have
one.
extra one, and the last one we
Missing
have
words.
yes, missing
Then
functional
It's
grammar.
the same.
Yes,
It's the same. The same
The
strategy.
same
We have
strategies.
choose, fill
Yes,
in spaces
space.
with prepositions. Then we have
Choose the correct.
here
yes.
in industrial stream.
It's very easier,
Maybe the
I
task
think.
is easier than the commercial,
Yes.
because here the student has to choose, only to choose, not to correct.
not to
Yes.
put
The
the
form.
firm in the correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it is easier, I
Yes.
think. And I think when we talk about the next question, I think the same tasks, reported speech, passive,
Yes.
Using
And relative
relative pronouns, or let's say
We have
conditional sentences. That's it. And translation is the same. And
Just 2
we have
sentences here.
again 2 compositions, and I think it's the same for female arts, or let's say girls
As they
12th
say.
grade. It's the same.
The same.
1 page in the final exam, and the last 2 units are not required. At the end of this seminar, dear colleagues, dear students, I'd like Mr. Mazen just to give one piece of advice before we finish this seminar. One piece of advice from you, one piece of advice from Ms. Hanan, and then we can finish this seminar.
Yes.
Please.
Dear students, as you have seen, try to follow this form of the exam, and it's going to be very easy exam for you. So try to read this form of exam and try to apply what you have read on your question in both the activity and the student book.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mazen. Ms. Hanan, please.
I'd like to advise them, of course, to study well, of course, And because this test will measure their ability to communicate, or either in writing, yeah, in English, of course. English is not a difficult language if they, of course, like it. They have to like it.
I think when the students like it, they will be good at it.
Yes.
There is no fear at all, because
Yeah.
the exam will be very clear. No fear at all, not only in vocational baccalaureate, but in
General.
all branches,
Yes.
in all let's say,
Subjects.
subjects. I think what is necessary from the student to do is just to, as you said, pay attention to the skills found in each unit. That's it. So don't deal with English, let's say, as mathematics or
Physics.
as physics. No, it is something related to skills. You have to have these skills to master the skills. When you feel that you master the skills, believe me, there is no need to study at all, because it's something related to life. Language, it is language. When you are able to communicate with others, believe me, you will have a good language. Be sure that you have a good language. That's it. This is what beneficial for today. I hope, dear students, dear colleagues, that we could cover everything important to you for the final exam. I'd like at the end of this seminar, dear colleagues, dear students, to thank my dear colleagues, Miss Hanan Kantagji, English teacher from Hama Directorate. Thank you very much for coming. And Mr. Mazen Abdul Karim, English teacher in Damascus Countryside Directorate. Thank you very much for your participation. Dear students, we wish you good luck. We wish you all the best. Thanks for your following up this seminar. Till we meet in other seminars, we wish you all the best. Goodbye. Thank you very much.